Life's really strange, isn't it? Things happen within things happening, and life goes on. This is my third attempt at this, right? As life goes on. Because all of a sudden, real life breaks in. So that the spiritual and real life, if you can call it that, all collide. And we kind of want to put the spiritual separate to the real life. Now, we think we know a fair bit about Jesus, you know. We kind of get a sniff of what he's about, and it's outside of here, you know. But when we look at his life, it was very real. It was people coming to him and things happening, right? We're told in Mark's Gospel, which is the first Gospel, that Jesus began all this at the age of 30. But we're not really quite sure when he was executed. In John's Gospel, which was written decades later, he'd been to Jerusalem 3 times. So we say, he would have died at the age of 33. But if you go back to Mark's Gospel, it would have been 30. But we know these experiences happen. We know they happened. We know that if you read Mark's Gospel, it looks like it all happened in 1 year. In John's, it looks like it happened in 3. But we know things happened. So we look at the appearances and we get different stories. Jesus appeared, he came out of nowhere. The first message we've got of that, of what happened, was in the earliest writings, which were in Paul, not in those Gospels, but in Paul. That's the earliest record we have of Jesus appearing. So maybe those appearances happened in a way that nobody outside of all of this noticed. So talking about the appearances like Mandrake is a bit difficult. But talking about what the experiences led people to do is a different message. And what do the appearances tell us in this gospel? To continue his work of loving compassion. Continue that work. Do what Jesus did. He said, come on, it's up to you now. I am there and you can call on my Spirit to continue the work. And the work is of loving compassion and change. And I pray that what goes on in your life continues that work. Because what have we learned? The way of hatred, the way of anger, the way of war, the way of laws, the way of rigid holding people in line doesn't work. But the way of loving compassion changes lives and changes you. And in many ways changes you into the very being that Jesus you believed in wanted. Amen.